everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I'm here to tell you that these cards will change your game. Let's jump into them. And a reminder that the link for these cards is going to be in the description below, and make sure you pick up Timeline Color. Now, this card, like the others I'm bringing up on the episode, are incredibly budget-friendly cards from the brand new upcoming set that's going to be released very soon. And this one's going to be a massive one, a 2/2 Drix Warlock with haste for 2 mana in black. And it says, you may cast this card from your graveyard using its warp ability, which is pretty crazy. For a single black mana and pay 2 life, you can cast it from your hand or graveyard for its warp cost. If you do, exile to begin next end step, then you may cast from exile on a later turn. Here's the thing. That time will never come. This is basically a brand new reassembling skeleton that is even cheaper to get out again and again and again. I mean, more expensive when it comes to life, but what is life? And of course, in the decks that we're going to be utilizing it anyways, like aristocrat-style decks, we're going to be sacrificing it right away, so it goes back to the graveyard, and then we can get it right back out, and then again and again and again. And of course, if we have like a Blood Artist type effect in play anyways, we're going to be mitigating that life loss, if not gaining even more. Yeah, this one is going to be absolutely huge for sacrifice strategies. Make sure you pick this one up in bulk. Speaking of which, are you a fan of +1/+1 counter decks? Well, if you are, my goodness, the amount of value that can be had from this one is insane. A 3/3 Insect Soldier, Melt Strider Uologist for 3 mana in green. Whenever a creature you control they counter on it dies, draw a card. Very simple, very effective. If you have a counters build, my goodness, it is super easy for you to get counters on all your creatures. You've got so many different ways to do that, right? And all of a sudden, when those creatures die, now you replace them with card draw. Absolutely amazing, absolutely effective, absolutely incredible, and just 50 cents. Pick it up now. I guess I should say the release date for Edge of Eternities is on the 1st of August, so there you go. Pick it up then or pre-order it now. Caesarian Voidborn, a 2/2 Vampire Soldier for 3 mana in black. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And it's got a warp cost of a single black mana. This is, again, yet another. Again, at some point we're literally just going to have Blood Artist deck, where literally everything is a Blood Artist, and that's just basically it, with a Blood Artist commander, which we already have some Blood Artist commanders anyways. Regardless, here's another one to add to the pile now. This one is slightly more limited than, say, a Blood Artist. It's kind of like a combination of Blood Artist and like Zulport Cutthroat-ish, kind of, but not really, I guess. It is just that it concentrates only on your creatures, but also concentrates on your artifacts too, so do keep that in mind. So you are able to essentially go, okay, you know what? Creatures in play, again, token, non-token doesn't matter. Artifacts in play, token, non-token doesn't matter. Sacrifice those, drain, do a lot of definitely amazing value in a lot of decks. Do a lot of incredible things. Drain your opponents, use life gain strategies, do what you need to do, pick it up. But then we've got Verulent Silencer. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely disgusting for the right deck out there. A 2/3 Robot Assassin for 3 mana. Whenever a non-token artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. Here's the thing. Is this for every deck? Absolutely not. Is it for decks that have a lot of non-token artifact creatures? Absolutely. I'm talking about the vast majority of colorless decks out there. I guess that are not just completely like Eldrazi, but yeah, ones that are focused on artifact creatures, artifact creature-based strategies that are in more than one color, of course, or no colors with colorless. But yes, a great way to essentially go, oh, I hit you with 5 creatures and you lose. Do keep in mind, because I do see players probably making this mistake where they're like, oh yeah, I've got some Thopters in play. It does specify non-token, luckily for everyone out there. So yeah, make sure you are using it in a deck that's got a lot of non-token artifact creatures, and you will just decimate your opponents with this. We keep getting more and more and more Impact Tremors type cards as well. So yeah, Blood Artist deck, Impact Tremors deck. What's next? Stalker Ardan, a 2/3 Drix Artificer for 3 mana in red. Whenever the creature or artifact you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and it's got a warp cost of 1. Again, with that warp cost, you can kind of like sneaky cheat into play for cheap on a turn when you're about to go off and do some crazy things if you need to. And also, it kind of protects it in a way as well by going into exile so that you can, like, play it later then, too, in a way, if you know, like, a board wipes might be coming. But yeah, being able to go, okay, I get this in play, all of a sudden I get a lot of creatures or a lot of artifacts in play, I ping all my opponents. Again, this is like Impact Tremors Plus because it counts your artifacts too. So again, treasure strategies out there absolutely will love this as well. Punish your opponents, ping them, take them down. Damage doublers, damage triplers, of course, work great with it. Have fun. Super spicy, though, for our next one with Starfield Shepherd, a 3/2 angel with flying for 5 mana in white. Whenever this creature enters, search life for a basic plains card or a creature card with mana value 1 or less revealed, put in your hand, then shuffle. Those are two very different things. And then warp cost for just 2 mana. This can be a really early game, like low-to-the-ground tutor for one of your most, well, impactful cards in the deck. Again, it is specific to the types of creatures that it can get, right? Mana value 1. So it does say, you know what, you gotta have the right deck for it, the right strategy for it. Yeah, I mean, I guess for a Plains, it's nice, too, that it's a nice little tutor for that. It's not gonna ramp you, but it will help you fix your mana. That being said, being able to go, okay, yeah, a huge card in my deck is, say, Mother of Runes or whatever it is. Okay, I will tutor that up. It's in my hand now. I can probably play it on the exact same turn as well. Of course, there's also some really good angels out there to get, too. But yeah, a great low-to-the-ground tutor for low-to-the-ground creatures. Pick this one up. Finally, though, one that is very surprising, at least to me, in green, we've got Glacier Godmaw, a 6/6 Leviathan with Trample. How many Leviathans do we have in green anyways? Not many, I wouldn't think. And don't say Changelings, those don't count, but they kind of do. 7 mana in green. When this enters, create a lander token. Again, that's the artifact that you can pay to, tap, sacrifice, go get that basic land, play, tap, then shuffle. Basically, rampant growth. It's got landfall, though. Whenever a land you control enters, creatures you control get ++1 and gain vigilance and haste. That's right, haste. Until end of turn. That is massive. For like a stompy strategy, I can see this one seeing play. Obviously, landfall as well, potentially. But yeah, like a stompy strategy where you're like, okay, I'm just getting big creatures out. You don't have a lot of ways in like mono green stompy to give haste. Or just like in many colors outside of red, really. Like red's got the fervor type cards to get everything haste. All the other colors are kind of limited in the ways that they give haste. This is a great way to do so in a green creature-based strategy where you're like, okay, I can even hold back a land if I need to, or I can like crack an Evolving Wild slightly later if I need to. If I know I'm going to have like an explosive turn where I'm like, okay, creature, haste them up, swing, vigilantly keep them back for defense too. It's a very good card. And one that, again, I'm not going to say breaks the color pie, but like you having a green creature that gives your green creatures haste, or just creatures in general, I should say, is absolutely incredible and something that we don't see very often. So yeah, pick this up. When it comes to artifacts, one that I think is going to be a little under the radar, we've got Cryogen Relic, an artifact for 2 in blue. When this enters or leaves the battlefield, that is massive. Draw a card. By paying 2, you can sacrifice the artifact to get a stun counter to 1 target tap creature. Cool. Now that is nice, and you can utilize it to basically stun something when you need to. That's great. That being said, just being able to go, oh, okay, by the way, ETB draw, LTB draw, that is absurd. That is 2 cards per every ETB, LTB. Meaning that if you have like a commander like, let's say, Brago, that can just keep going, okay, blink away, okay, blink away, okay, blink away. Again, on every LTB and the ETB, you are drawing. So you're drawing 2 cards every single time you blink this. Obviously, eggs-based strategies are going to love it as well. Ones that can get artifacts like this out, put it in the graveyard, sacrifice it, and get it back again and again and again. Keep in mind, though, again, it is a leave the battlefield trigger. It does not require, like, oh, when this hits the graveyard. No. Leaves the battlefield, goes anywhere. It could go back to your hand, it could go to your graveyard, it could go to exile. Wherever it's going, you're drawing a card. So, yeah, take advantage of this amazing recursion engine. I guess I'd say, like, if you recur it or if you blink it, that kind of an engine. But now let's talk about All Fates Scroll, an artifact for 3 that has tap at 1 mana of any color, and by paying 7 and tapping, you sacrifice this artifact to draw X cards, where X the number of differently named lands you control. This is one where, again, Wizards is starting to get better and better and better at making the, okay, this is not the most efficient mana rock, but it's one that has a lot of utility for you. And there are certain colors out there that aren't going to be the best, essentially, at drawing cards. Now, there is that balance to it as well. If you're literally playing, like, like a mono-white deck with, like, all planes, yeah, that's not going to draw you very many cards. Your names are going to be, the same for your lands. Obviously, you can, like, okay, throw some snow lands in and that kind of stuff as well. But still, you do need a decent amount of, non-basics most likely to really take the most advantage out of this card. But if you have a deck that's got a good amount of, well, differently named lands, if you've got a way to essentially say, you know what, I'm okay with being just a little bit slower with my mana rocks, or maybe have this one be like an additional mana rock that just kind of like, oh yeah, it's like a hybrid like card draw mana rock for you too. There are definitely decks that can utilize this to great effect and draw an absurd amount of cards with it. Yeah, definitely not for every single deck out there, but one that can be a bomb in the right deck. Now, this one's worth your attention, though, because we've got Larval Scoutlander. It's a 3/3 spacecraft for 3 mana in green. 7+, it is, that flying, 3/3 spacecraft then. There you go, you gotta get to that station. Okay, and then it says when it enters, though, you may sacrifice a land or lander. If you do search life to 2 basic land cards from battlefield tap, then shuffle. This is a brand new kind of like roiling regrowth. I mean, like, it is Harrow adjacent. Harrow is better when it comes to like getting those lands. You could utilize them right away untapped. This one's more like roiling regrowth, like Springbloom Druid essentially. Probably the most relatable is Springbloom Druid. But being able to basically get like a potential creature in waiting versus Springbloom Druid is a little weak 1/1. No offense, Springbloom Druid. You can utilize that, in more blinky ways with Springbloom Druid. This one's going to be a bit harder to blink, though, of course, there are ways to blink it, even though it is an artifact, not a creature. Eventually it can become a creature, or, like, kind of reset it. Once you, like, blink it, it comes back and it's an artifact again. So it can kind of dodge board wipes in that way. Regardless, though, it does have the potential upside that if you are using lander tokens, being able to go, okay, you know what, I'm actually not going down on lands. I'm going down on a lander, which was a potential land, but I'm not paying to get that land out, basically. It kind of skips that process. So kind of like I go up 2 lands versus 1, like a Harrow. Yeah, that can definitely be better in that fashion. So yeah, especially with lander decks that utilize lander counters, gonna be huge. Let's zero on this next big one, though, because a combo in the making, this one definitely is Rescue Skiff, a 5/6 spacecraft for 6 mana in white. When it enters, return target creature or enchantment card from your grave to the battlefield, and it's a 5/6, flyer once you get that 10 on station. So this is one where, yeah, again, anytime you've got like ETB reanimate, yeah, that can definitely be broken. Now, unlike Karmic Guide, of course, this one is not a creature to start. Obviously, there are definitely ways around that. There are ways to like, okay, I, station it, and then I, sacrifice it, get it back, get it back in, station again. There are definitely ways around that, but yeah, there are definitely absurd things that you can do this in a blink type strategy where it's like, okay, I'm like a Brago, like, okay, ETB, cheat something out again, a creature or enchantment. There's not always that many ways to reanimate enchantments, but this is one of them. Obviously, they didn't say artifact because it'd be way too easy for this one to just like combo with itself in other formats too. Yeah, you've got a couple of these, and you're like, okay, loop, 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 loop. That being said, being able to go, okay, cheat out an enchantment, cheat out a creature, there's a lot of potential for this one. And speaking of enchantments, one that I have to bring up, we've got Eusocial Engineering, an enchantment for 5 mana in green. Landfall, whenever your land you control enters, create 2/2, colorless robot artifact creature token. It's got a warp cost of 2 mana in green. Yeah, this one is absolutely massive, being able to go, okay, hey, do you want a Landfall X out there? Do you want another Zendikars Rising? Yeah? Okay, cool. You get another one. This one is absolutely massive, being able to go, okay, all you need to do is get out lands. You get a giant army in absolutely no time, a bunch of 2/2s. And of course, if you need to warp it out earlier just to get like a big bursty kind of turn early, you can do that. Or like later in the game, if you've got a lot of other things that you want to do, like, oh, okay, well, like I can either play this for like 5 mana or I can pay for 2, and then I can like play 2 ramp cards to get this going essentially, and then eventually get this out to play later. There's a lot of flexibility to that as well. When it comes to instants, though, Reroute Systems is a great one to add to your deck. And it's a very single white mana, choose 1, target artifact or creature gain is indestructible until end of turn. So again, a way to protect, again, a flexible creature type, basically, or a flexible, card type, either artifact or creature, being able to go, okay, my deck cares about both. If my deck cares about my commander, cares about maybe certain, like, really crucial types of artifacts in the deck, I can save those. Or, hey, removal. You don't usually get too many of these, like, okay, it's either like save your thing or like destroy something. 2 damage target, tap creature. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but of course that definitely can come in very handy. Again, either like, oh, your opponent thinks that, the combat math works for them. Like, oh, great, yeah, I swing and it's going to survive in combat because like they can only deal so much damage on the block. Take something out in that way. Or, of course, like a small low-to-the-ground creature. I'm talking about like a mana dork. Even like putting someone back from that essentially can be a great way to utilize this card in a more offensive maneuver. Moving on though, Seed Ship Impact, an instant for 2 mana in green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. If its mana value was 2 or less, create a lander token. Now, this one again is in a long line of like naturalized type cards, basically, right? 2 mana, instant speed. Instant is huge right there. That's one of the ones where it's like, you kind of just lose me if it says sorcery for the most part. For the most part, I will say, not always. But this one is, okay, 2 mana, artifact, enchantment, destroy. Cool, all right. What the flex on this one is that you get extra value if it's something that's small that you're destroying. So if it is, great, okay, I get that lander token, meaning that I get, well, future ramp when I decide to pay into that. I might not even be that far away from it. Okay, I can pay 2 extra mana. So for a landfall strategy or one that really cares about, ramping, getting a lot of lands out, definitely consider this one. It's not as flexible, again, when it comes to removal, like some of the other ones are like, okay, yeah, destroy artifact or enchantment or exile a card from a graveyard. It's not that flexible, but again, if you're okay with giving up that flexibility for that potential to actually ramp, that's huge. Speaking of huge, though, Emergency Eject. Yeah, this one's going to see a lot of play. Instant for 3 mana in white. Destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a lander token. Yeah, that's pretty mess. Being able to destroy any non-land permanent. Again, it's not quite, again, to the level of like a, Beast Within, where it's like, okay, get rid of anything you want. Like, even lands, sure. But if we're not okay with, destroying lands anyways, for the most part, that's okay. Like, are you going to get like on a Gaia's Cradle every now and then? Sure. Very rarely, though, versus you being like, yeah, normally I'm just destroying non-land permanents anyways. In the replacement effect of giving them a lander token, they don't even get immediate value out of that. They have to actually pay into that to then ramp with it. So again, whether this is better than, say, like a generous gift, I guess not generous gift because that one's like any permanent again, but like, being able to just go, okay, Stroke of Midnight, all right, get a 1/1. Yeah, is it better? Is it worse? I mean, it's just another great option for you to have, really, when it comes to like, all right, 3 mana, destroy whatever I want to destroy. Yeah, that's going to be huge. Or how about getting things back, though, with Scour for Scrap, an instant for 4 mana in blue. Choose one or both. Always choosing both when you can, obviously. It's going to be a lot of value for 4 mana. Search the library for an artifact card to reveal, put your hand, then shuffle. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, some recursion here, that is great, but also with some tutoring, my goodness, that is absolutely huge for an artifact-based strategy. Typically when it comes to like, okay, tutor something up, like Fabricate, I think is like what you're thinking of usually when it comes to that amount, and like that is like 1 less for a tutor on an artifact. So 1 extra mana, instant speed, go get something out of your graveyard too. That's massive. The artifact strategies definitely want to utilize this. Combo strategies that utilize artifacts definitely want to utilize something like this one, because again, it also helps you, like if you tried to combo off with something and an opponent got rid of your artifact, like destroyed it. Oh no, oh darn, oh no. Oh, now you can get it back. And you also might be able to get the other half of the combo too out of your deck if you need that as well. Definitely a really cool card for artifact-based strategies. And finally, when it comes to lands, Command Bridge. Now, Command Tower, this is not, and that's okay. It is completely fine that this is not Command Tower. That being said, if you've got like a multi-color deck, if you've got a 5-color deck, and you're willing to be a teeny bit slow, with a little bit of a downside, this can be another great way to fix your mana. There's only so many lands out there that tap for 1 mana of any color. There are only so many at all that aren't like, I'm not talking about filter lands, like those don't really count all that much. Anyways, land enters tapped. When this land enters sacrifice, unless you tap an untapped permanent you control, tap for 1 mana of any color. So basically, again, there is that cost to it. There is that slowness to it where it's like, okay, enters tapped, and you have to actually tap something for it. That being said, unlike other lands that we've seen like this in the past, where you have to actually go, okay, like I have to pay 1. Okay, paying 1 is a bit different than tapping any permanent. There are certain permanents out there you don't care if they're tapped. It's like, oh yeah, I've got like this enchantment in play. Okay, I tapped this enchantment. Cool, that didn't matter. Or artifacts that aren't like mana rocks. Okay, I tapped that. Like a creature that you don't really care about. Okay, like I tapped that one. A little servo token, whatever, I tap it. Cool. That is absolutely huge, and it's going, okay, there's a small downside to this card, all right? Small. But it can actually help you fix your mana. Is it going to be like in the most competitive decks out there? No, because it's slow, it comes to end play tap, that kind of stuff. But is it going to be a really good card for a lot of decks out there that really care about fixing their mana? Absolutely. So pick it up. And with that, this episode is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on this episode. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.